Alright, I'm on GitHub Copilot Labs. I will sign up to Copilot Labs. This is needed for VS Code. And here you see I'm already signed up for GitHub Copilot. And that's a link of the VS Code extension. But to show you the whole process, I will just remove myself from there. Remove me, you can click there, and then I can sign up again for GitHub Copilot. And that way you will see the whole process. So again in the GitHub Next website, I sign up there, and then I agree to the terms of GitHub Next pre-release. It's just a basic license terms and conditions. And now I'm in there. Make sure you install the GitHub Copilot Labs extension in VS Code. And then that's a page I suggest you to have a look, to have a little read. And you see they have also a lot of other projects they offer. Most of them are included in GitHub Labs, so the GitHub Copilot Labs extension. Flat data, it's also a good one, flat data. There are always some explanations, videos, how you can use it in VS Code. So all of those extensions are compatible for Visual Studio Code. And for all of them at the moment, it's only available for Visual Studio Code, meaning that if you are using WebStorm, IntelliJ, you won't be able to use these extensions for now. Maybe in the future. So here you can also see how this one works. You see, Test Pilot is now shipped as part of Copilot Labs. So you don't have to install other extensions. It's included and built in. Similar to others, here we have visualizing in Codebase, usable stage, and we have others. We have code brushes. It's also part of Copilot Labs. Now they have added the brushes there. Usable prototype. There are a lot of amazing things what GitHub Next are doing. The people behind GitHub Next are just fantastic, and they are building a lot of extensions and way to code faster in a more proactive way. Here we have, we imagine, so that one is more about the way how you can see things in your code and about the blocks. So here we'll sign up for blocks, part of GitHub Next. You authorize that. So obviously you need a GitHub account prior doing this, and again you need to agree to the terms and conditions. And perfect, now I'm signed up. So I will also have the service. You have different authors for different services. Each author are mentioned in each page of GitHub Next. Flat editor, so you can see again what it does. There are a lot of images, screenshots, and some little videos, some examples of what it does. That's really handy. And then, flat editor. Again, we can see with a raw YAML file. So now if I go back to my Visual Studio Code, VS Code, you can see I have GitHub Copilot, the official one, and then I have GitHub Copilot Chat, it's also the official one, and finally the other official one is the last one, the one I have just installed, GitHub Copilot Labs. GitHub Copilot Labs and GitHub Chat comes together. I can move the extension. I will just move GitHub Copilot Labs at the bottom, and now we can try it. So it's the show time has arrived. Here I will just lower a little bit the terminal. Perfect. And that one, for instance, you see here with the user repositories, I will right click there, right click, I will click on Copilot and then explain this. And here I will see, you see, when I do explains, automatically when I select a portion of code and I do explains this, GitHub Copilot explains to me right away. What it does, I can chat after with it, like explain, so /explain in the chat bar, and I can ask more explanation about it. You have also fix, you have simplify, to simplify some code. Sometimes it's already very well simplified, but sometimes it's not the case. And so GitHub Copilot will see if there is a way to have the code more concise, more appropriate, better, and to see you can directly apply the changes from the snippet to my code. And automatically it will merge to what I have. That's really handy. And this is essentially the same as the original code, but this is a bit shorter, you see, and cleaner. It adds some details of what it has done to your code. And don't worry, there's always a way to go back. You can also use the famous Control Z or Command Z shortcut if you need it. And here you see I add a test and it will generate for me test. So now I have a new test for that portion, and it will also mention to me the file path where I should add the test. And here I will generate a unit test for the selected code. And now, based on the provided code snippet, you see it seems like, oh, I will just have a look. Yeah, it seems like it already exists. Yeah, indeed, I have already it. And this is like the test. Some basic tests for testing. What it will generate for you doesn't necessarily work right away. You have to adjust a little bit by yourself, but it gives good examples of some edge cases you should test. So it will give you different tests and different ideas of what you can test for that specific function, for that specific chunk of code you have selected to be tested. And so here there are so many different comments I will do where this unit test should be for the user service, where it should be placed. So let's see, and again for the user service it should be placed in the corresponding test file. Okay, good to know. For our Node.js project structure. So here, just ask Copilot to give me the path and the file name. Again, you have to keep in mind that Copilot is your Copilot. You are not a Copilot, and GitHub Copilot is not the main developer. You are always the one who has to make the decisions, and GitHub Copilot is just a Copilot. So here it gave me the path, but also some tsconfig.json I could apply. Sometimes it doesn't really make much sense. Sometimes it does, but again, you have to think first, because GitHub Copilot is just a Copilot. It's smart, but you shouldn't rely on everything. Quite often, more than you would think, it will give you also incorrect answers or not really relevant. So here, you know, it's just some suggestions of my tsconfig file I could apply. it's up to me if I want to apply those changes or not. And when I can merge those changes to my code, I should make sure that I'm on the correct file name. So here I'm on the tsconfig, so I can merge them into there, which I did. And now you see most of them are already duplicated. I can use the include one, the exclude one array, and then I have the strict and the ES module, interrupt, so that will be true. I just need to reformat correctly my JSON file. Perfect. Now it looks better. All right. So that's great. And here again, I need to ask, you can explain again what it does, exclude and exclude, and it will tell you what it does. Yeah. And it will give you a lot of details. It's really handy. So GitHub Copilot Labs, sorry, it's so handy for you to ask questions on things you don't understand. For instance, you are working on a large project and you haven't written the code, and some functions are a little bit obscure. You are not sure what it does. There's no comment. You can ask Copilot what it does. So here, let's go back to our test. And now we'll create a file for my test, user service.spec.ts. I need to make sure it's in the user module. This is a file of the path it gave previously. And I will just copy paste my test. I will need to open the test file, user.service.spec.ts, and then I can merge all of the snippet Copilot gave to me. You see there are some errors I need to fix there, like the user repository is not correct. Same for the token repository. In my case, I use entity instead. So I have user.entity instead of user.repository. So I need to fix this. From time to time, you might have to delete some lines. Sometimes you have some tests you believe are not really needed, so you can also remove them. And here you see that's the way I have implemented the user repository with the pattern. So I need to, with the template of the TypeScript type, so I need to re-implement this. And perfect. So now token entity and token. Okay, we are very close. Because I use the repository class, which is generic, and then I mention the user type into the generic user class. So that's why I need arrows. Yeah, so first user, and here it's just token, and then I can remove the duplicated import. There, perfect. And so in here, I will just mention repository. and raw user. All right, and now we do the same. Yeah, it matches with my code in user service, and I will do the same for token repository. And here for the providers, it's probably not needed here. Just need to double check that. User module, yeah, no, I haven't. I don't have them there in my user module. Yeah, perfect. Let's go back to user service.spec. I do this manually, but again, if you wish, you can also ask Copilot to help you by using the Copilot chat bar. And by using the Copilot chat bar, when you open the chat, you can ask a lot of questions. And here you see, like I will again start, like you can start code chat, but you have here explain this. So in my case, I ask questions about the annotation injectable, what the injectable annotation or decorator, I should say, decorator does. Well, it says it's from Nest.js, okay, and it says that it's it allows me to inject that class will be able to be injected inside of another class, and so I can attach it into other classes and modules. Here you see I just fixed the type. There was an issue with the type, and I was able to fix to any. And here the same, I have an issue there, so you can use fix with Copilot, and automatically it will make a query to GitHub Copilot server, and it will find an appropriate fix. Sometimes it doesn't find anything, sometimes it does. So again, fix using Copilot is really powerful. Or you can ask to Copilot for more details, and so it will help you to understand better your code. You know, quick fix also, I have the option with a quick fix using Copilot, or explain this with Copilot. So here it will suggest to me some TS type fixes. Right. Clear, I can use clear as well to clear the chat. That's handy too. If I press enter, you see, at least now I keep the chat and the conversations clean and neat. Here I can also create a notebook with Jupyter. Jupyter normally is for Python projects, but I can also give a try with my Nest.js project. It could provide me a topic and the content. Obviously, it needs more details about it, so I need to provide more details of what it needs. So search from the code base, I will ask, and yeah, I have more details now. And now it will try to generate, I mentioned, okay, it's for the user. So yeah, user entity, the TypeScript, user service, you see, it finds more and more details, and we'll just quickly do it again. So / create notebook, and then I mentioned create a new notebook, Jupyter for the user service, okay, for the user service. And it will now it will generate the file for me. So I click on create notebook. I have a new file open in here, and I just need to wait now and it's about to create everything for the import. You can see the import are Python there, and because Copilot is made for Python, so this is why it can look a bit weird, but you have to use it for Python. So it's generating Python code instead. I'm just looking at the other competitors too. You can use alternative, yeah, Code Lab, yeah, Code Lab. That's the other ones. 12 best Copilot alternatives. See, Code Lab, CodeCalc, Hex. Anyways, that's just to give you an example here anyway with a notebook of everything you can do with Copilot Labs. So not only fixing your code, fixing TS issues, TS errors is really handy, like what you have seen previously a little bit a few minutes earlier with the try-catch block. Try-catch block, I had a error and there was any type missing, but also here creating a new notebook. I can create different things. I can also select a portion of code and directly I can ask Copilot what it does, if I should fix it, add types. I can also fix bug. You see, it has so much options I can do. Make it robust. That's another option we will have a look later. Debug. And you have some gamifications too. When you click on each button, it's just fabulous. And here you see it can detect what I have at the moment. So basically it will help you to code better, to have more robust code, to save a lot of time, so you will be able to be much more efficient while you code. It's just a fantastic Copilot. You see here it added the user type just before the await for the existing user constant. There as well I can attempt to add a type. When you have any, it will attempt to create a more specific type. Here I don't have the sign up DTO type yet, so I need to create it. Now what I did, I was trying to have Copilot creating the user DTO type for me. The sign up DTO type for me. I can use the document as well to add some comments to document my code, to add annotations. And now there I can click on robust and you will see basically it will add more comments for me. So it will annotate my code and it will be more readable. It will just make my code just more robust and better. So now if I see how it was before, I will just go back for the type of the user DTO to any for now. Yeah, that's fine. Right. And yeah, user, I will leave it as any. Of course, any in TS is never recommended. At least you should use unknown. But in my case, I will just keep any for now. And you see, with make robust, it added 3 comments and it's giving a better code basically. So that's a really cool feature. Perfect. And here we just open the terminal. I will do a git diff. You see that's what it did in the try catch block. It added any because I had a TS issue before because it couldn't find the error.message, I think. And here, that's the changes of the TS config. And earlier in the find user by token, it added some nice and useful comments in each instruction of my code. I will just generate a commit message now. Commit explaining, or git, yeah, I should maybe be more precise. Git commit message explaining that I have made my code more robust. But I can do exactly the same in Copilot chat. So if I go to the chat bar and I ask the same, you see, I just I pasted git commit message and automatically it says, okay, improve code robustness in user service.ts. It mentions even the name of the file, and what ChatGPT gave instead is something slightly different. So that's amazing. So now we have the code committed and it's all done. So you have seen now how powerful is Copilot and how Copilot Labs, the GitHub Copilot Labs from GitHub Next, can help you to manage and to code quicker, faster, and in a much more efficient manner. See you in another video.